chat. Hold on a second. This computer. Okay, for people joining this live stream, this is one of a series of discussions about sound and video, audio and video for the upcoming version of Wolfram language. So, where had we got to? We were close to done, weren't we?
Yes. We're very close to done. Okay. Starting from up top, I wanted to make sure about or check with you about the option name video time range as a selection option, time selection option. You proposed that 12.1. We never got to it. We are renaming the tracks to track selection. Are you still okay with video time range, or should it be video time range selection?
Why isn't it video time selection? Or is it, I mean, okay, wait a minute. This is what we've got is for track. We've got a thing called track selection. Is that correct?
And it's going to be specific. Audio track selection, video track selection, subtitle track selection.
Okay, fine. So they're different names.
Yes.
Could it just be video time selection, or does it need to say video time range selection?
No, I think it's okay. Video time selection is good.
Okay, what track, what times? Time singular, video time, yeah, time singular.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Should we discuss generated data destination, possible or alternative names? I put a couple suggestions in generated data destination page.
The source page.
Is this really the right meeting for that? Do we have the right people here?
Unless you wanted to go back to LCC.
Is it in generated data destination?
Yes.
Here's a comment from Ethan on our live stream. Can people apply image effects to videos without manually extracting frames? Isn't that what video frame map does?
Yes.
Okay. So like if you want to apply the same effect to each frame.
Correct.
But like, for example, if I wanted to have something where I had a spot that started in the center of the screen and then expanded on successive frames, how would I do that?
That's going to be coming with video map operation, or whatever name we're going to call it, something that can take time into account as well. The function could take a slot time into account.
So how would that be analogous to, in the case of time series, what's the analogous operation?
Moving map.
But so we have time series map, but my question is, what is moving map? Does moving map have, does it have a time slot?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it does.
I see. So that's the kind of the design approach to take for, is it obvious that moving map couldn't just be used on video?
Yes. Because what comes out is a time series.
I see.
But otherwise, the design is similar in spirit with these, named arguments and so on. That's what we've been often migrating towards.
Yes. I mean, it's an as-if association, basically.
Yeah.
I think that's very reasonable because, I mean, I think then for video, yeah, one can imagine all kinds of things there. Okay, so that's what, so video frame map is map onto individual frames.
You killed that function last time. I would like to suggest we keep it around, but yes. That's the idea. 12.1 has a video frame map. You were suggesting we remove the function and just work with a video map that takes different types of arguments like video, audio, time, and so forth.
What do you mean?
Further down in the list, we have a family of processing functions. Video map is the current name that you proposed last time that is a video to video. The input to the function f could be data extracted from video, audio, or subtitle tracks. And then the output is a video. You were suggesting video frame map could be merged into video map, but I think as a separate function, it is going to be useful still.
Wait a minute. Video frame map maps onto each individual frame of the video, right?
Yes.
Returning a video, yes?
Correct.
What is it that returns a non-video?
12.1, we had video time series.
Wait a minute.
In that
So
list,
now we have, I see. So now what we have here, I forgot this. This is a good suggestion. Video map list, video map time series. This is the right suggestion. This is right. This is what we want. Because otherwise we got a whole, we spent a long time on this last time.
right?
Right?
We can keep those three. In addition, we're suggesting we keep video frame map and introduce a function like audio apply. I don't like the name necessarily. Those two functions only process one track. The data is one frame or a chunk of audio. So the construction of the function is going to be simpler. There is no slot arguments. The argument is always known.
Because it's just a frame. It's just boom,
Yes.
boom, boom, image, image, image.
Yes.
So in principle, we could have a video frame map list. Although I'm not suggesting it, but we could have that. Because this is saying it takes a frame. Its argument is a pure frame. Right?
But I'm not sure we want multiple functions.
I know that. I know that. I'm saying, but you can't have video frame map has to be something that returns a video.
Correct.
Right? If you want it to return a list, you've got to use video frame map and then video frame list on the video.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we were looking at generated data distribution, and we had some comments on our live stream that I want to come to.
Destination, not distribution.
I'm sorry. My brain is off somewhere else.
I've heard distribution from others as well. This is a long name. I think going with persistent location, it might be correct to use something that has location at the end. Storage location was our initial proposal. And then as we were brainstorming, we were possibly thinking about a pair of options where one is specifying the input asset location, one is specifying the output location.
Okay, let me just remind myself what this is. This is you do a video capture and it's going to write out a file. Where does the file go? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. The case that we have right now with audio capture does what?
Does some automatic, doesn't have the option. Put it, I think has take the file argument.
Hello there. Is that?
Put it in.
Okay.
And it puts it under $Wolfram document directory /audio.
Okay, so this is an option that says where to put this.
Correct.
Okay. Look, we're not going to use storage location. We went through that last time. Okay. It was too general a name. I mean, this is the wrong group of people to have that discussion. I'm sorry.
We'll bring it back to LCC then, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you don't like this name.
I think that she had a point, though. I also think it should be discussed in LCC, so I don't want to. But there is a point there, which is if everything is location, why is this one not location? It can also be input. It's not just output.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? So I think, look, sticking with our location business might be pretty consistent.
Sounds reasonable. I think that's, look, I think it's going to be, and then the dollar, whatever it is, thing has to be similarly consistent.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, why don't you ask, I mean, Roman and the people who've been dealing with persistence location, whether they have an idea for this.
Okay.
And but you don't want to put it in the local object store by default. Is that correct?
We don't. And in LCC, we then get to discuss default locations. I would like to get to that again.
Okay. So reschedule this for LCC.
Okay.
Okay. Comments from our live stream from Net. Would love it if Mathematica could be a VST host. I don't know what that is. Connect and send MIDI events, to virtual software instruments.
I think we will come to that when we revisit the MIDI side of things.
Yeah, because we're mostly dealing with audio waveforms and so on right now.
Yeah, and we just went through a couple of incremental releases where we primarily focused on speech and everything related to speech. And right now it's video focused, but the attention is going to be taken up to music, and then it's going to kind of come in there.
I was going to ask when that was going to happen. By the way, I assume that's going to turn into a new style progress dialogue.
Yep.
Well, okay. Okay. Other comments here. Okay, Ethan is saying, for scientific publications, we need to have creation of a grid paneled window of videos. Oh, so you mean, I think that's video frame list. I think. Let's take a look. I mean, in other words, if we've got, let's look at the video example.
I think what you're going to be finding, video frame list as an example. We have thumbnail grid example, where you basically make a collage of some representative images.
Well, if I say video frame list of this, whoops, why did
you
that
have to
work?
Give it a count.
I thought it would just do that with some 5 or something count. Okay.
And
so
then an image collage of that would give you some kind of a grid. But I think what Ethan is asking is a collage of a frame-to-frame collage creation of multiple sources. And we are going to be looking at multi-video input in video map list, video.
No, but this is pretty respectable. I mean, this is a very reasonable process. We take a random video and we make a video frame list and an image collage. That's very nice.
Yes, but I think Ethan is asking for something else. He wants 2 video feeds or 4 video feeds combined into one frame by frame connected. So you have.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay, yeah. Is that? He says what it is?
Yeah, yes, that is what he means.
Okay.
And how would I see? So in other words, you're taking. Gosh, that's an interesting observation. So someone else was suggesting. Sander was suggesting video assemble. Now, joining videos spatially. That's an interesting operation. So right now, what you would have to do is get the frame lists, do video collage, image collage on every frame, and then do this again. Is that right?
But the idea is that video map is going to be able to do that. You just feed it 4 videos, and you specify image collage as the function that takes 4 images, frame by frame, extract all frames from the 4 feeds, and then create a new video.
So wait a minute. Map on a list of 4 videos is going to, at every gulp, get 4 frames. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so that would just work. Okay. Although I have to say, I think if this is an operation people think is commonly useful, I think it'd be nice to have an overall function for it, so you don't have to think through how the video map thing works.
I completely agree, but I would prefer for 12.2, we get the building blocks, and then maybe at a later stage in the cycle, we can make or design the icing functions.
Yeah, I think video collage is a reasonable name, given that you don't know how many videos you're going to have.
Right.
Okay, there's a question of video position. Find where a dog shows up in a video.
That's further down in the list.
You mean further down because we haven't done it?
In the proposal, yes.
Oh, the proposals. Okay.
Now, what do you think about audio apply? Or we can discuss this and then
let's discuss this in a minute.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Let's see, Brian, is there a general purpose mechanism for selecting a set of frames in a video and then operating on them? So that's what this time selection, video time selection, and so on is about, right? Is that correct? For selecting a group?
No, it's a time. It's a start and stop time. So it's.
Yes, I know, but that's what we're talking about. I mean, that's isn't it? If we pick up a video, and then we say we want to operate only on seconds 2 through 5 of this video, isn't that how we do it?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the answer to that, I think.
All right.
Do these work, by the way? I'm sorry, what?
No, those don't work yet. The Brian's comment, selecting a set of frames to work on, I wasn't thinking video time selection should be able to do that.
That's why I was.
Okay, fine. But the time selection is whatever frames are within that time band.
Exactly.
So I think that's what he's asking for. But anyway, but he can clarify.
The capture functions don't work. The video stream and video record of a recording stream works in prototype builds, not very robust. The capture ones, I think still can make it to 12.2.
Sorry, I'm sorry. What did you say was working and not working?
Video stream and video record work in prototype builds.
Okay.
But not the capture functions.
Okay. Brian is saying not just for start-stop time, but general function to select the frame. Don't we have that? I mean, isn't that what the whole video? How do you select a frame for a video? I take this video. I want the 20th frame. How do I get that?
Video extract frame. And then a quantity 20 frames. If you give it just a scalar 20, that's going to be a frame from 20th second. But if you say 20 quantity 20 frames, that's going to be the 20th frame.
Is this function already there or not?
Yes.
I mean, is it there in 12.1?
Yes.
It's nice. It's just a little weird that says 200 frames plural, and this is all about video extract frames, and yet I'm just extracting a single frame here. Why isn't it video extract frame singular?
Oh, you can give it a list, and then it gives you exactly frames.
No, I understand, but we could do that. Boy, a lot changes in one frame. I had no idea. Wow. Human, vision, whatever it is, vision fusion is remarkable. Okay. And by the way, what do I do if I want to play those frames?
List animate or animated image if you have prototype builds.
No, but can't I just say video of that? If I just want to make those into a video.
We are adding video generator of a
list
of frames.
I want to just take
video of that doesn't work.
Why not?
We didn't get it implemented.
But okay, but I mean, is it a good idea?
Work? I think in Video Generator, we are providing more hooks to specifying frame rate and duration and all of that.
Don't care. I think we should just allow video of that to work with defaults. Seems useful. Just videoify this list of frames.
And then the only mode of video that we have is out of core. We are going to be writing to a file those 5, 6 frames.
That's life. That's okay. That's fine. It might not be 5 or 6. It might be 3,000 frames.
Yeah, no, it's doable. I just think it's not going to be very useful if one has to all the time specify duration and frame rate, or at least one of them. One is sufficient.
No, there should be a default. There should be a default. There should be a default frame rate. I mean, I can imagine somebody has generated these things having nothing to do with getting them from a video. Somebody generated them as graphics and just wants to turn them into a video. You see what I'm saying? And the other words, the path is kind of complicated, right? Is it animated image? What would it be? It would be video of animated image. Is that right?
Yes. Or video of export of those images.
No. But export is not what I want.
Yep. Yeah, video of animated image would work.
Yeah, but then video of the list of images should surely work too. Why is this not coming up? Oh, for God's sake. Something is very wrong with this prototype build, and somebody should report that. I've noticed these problems before. Okay, so now what you say is if I take this thing here, and I say...
I don't think video of animated image is implemented, but if you do
I
video
understand. I just
generator,
want animated image. I just want animated image.
Yep, that would work. Yep, this is going with 24 frames, I think, or something. It's looping. And also if you do video generator, just pause. And if you do video generator of the list, it also creates a video.
Video generator. Why do I have to do video generator? I don't understand. What is video generator doing here?
The advantage to video is that you can specify what's the duration, which...
So what? Why can't you say video blah, 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 arrow, duration, arrow, whatever?
Because that option is not going to be useful for other cases where the input is a file. So this became a 1 second. The default duration here is 1 second.
Is that the right thing? Look, again, okay. Various people on live stream are commenting that Instagram, for example, only lets you upload videos, not animated GIFs.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, look, video of animated image should just work.
Yep, that will work.
Okay. Now, the question of what the default frame rate should be, I see is commenting, iPhones record at 30 frames per second and 60. What would the default frame rate of the video function be? What's the answer?
So the video generator already resamples that list. You get something at 24 frames per second or whatever frame rate that you specify. Basically, you copy those frames. With video of frames, as I'm not convinced video of a list of frames should work. But anyways, if we want it to work,
so this is resampled. So this is just okay. And by the way, why did this bring up a video player? This brought up a remote video player, right? It's not playing in Notebook.
If you right-click on that video GUI and go to switch to either minimal or basic appearance, this is our in-notebook player, but it's not going to be efficient for higher resolution, higher frame rate until we have library link support in the front end.
When is that happening?
Most probably, John says library link in front end is going to be a 12.2 feature, but not soon enough for us to have a video player in 12.2.
What are we doing for the cloud, for the video player in the cloud?
We're working with the cloud team on that. It's going slower than what we want.
And the issue for the cloud wasn't the actual player. There are plenty of nice players, if you like, for the web browsers. They're just extremely limited compared to the range of codecs that we support, which meant that we needed to support FFmpeg tools, and they were running old operating systems. But that's also changing now, so that's getting easier.
So this is, by the way, there's a stupid bug which also needs to be reported, which is that I reported this for several weeks, that in the prototype build, the cursor is wrong. This is still a horizontal I-beam cursor, and it shouldn't be. So you're saying...
I'll report it again.
Okay. So of all this stuff, right? So in product, any one of these crazy encoders will work. And you're saying on the web, are you going to get all of these to work or not?
We are. And that's because and that's what's cost an awful lot of it, because otherwise it would hardly, very, very little would work by default in the web browser.
Okay.
But now all of them will work.
How did you achieve that?
We transcode.
Oh, I see. To what?
To whatever the browser needs. I forget if that's just one or is it just MP4?
Okay, so in the kernel, we do the transcoding.
We don't transcode in the kernel. The FFmpeg can decode all of those codecs that were listed in your notebook.
Yeah, okay.
We just read them in any codec they're stored.
Okay, where were we here? Let's see.
I guess down to video position.
Okay, there's a question here from Ethan. What about net encoder for videos? What's the machine learning team been doing on that?
Not yet. Coming. We.
Yep.
Yeah, coming. I think it's next release is going to be the first one where it can happen.
Okay, Ethan is saying need to be more 3 and 4D operators on the neural net framework. With 3D nets often working on video. Yes, I agree. So hold on, there are a couple of comments here. Ethan's asking, so I can cloud publish a video? The answer is yes. Right? In the upcoming
once the support comes, yep.
Can watch MKV. What is MKV? Is that one of the video formats? I don't know.
Yes. We can watch them in our in notebook player, but not in many other video players that are installed on operating systems by default.
Okay. Ethan is commenting, for export to GIF, there's a minimum frame duration. Do we know about that? And Brian is commenting, a default 24 frames per second or 30 frames per second will be sufficient. What is our default frame rate right now for video?
For video doesn't have any default. Whatever is encoded in the file is the frame rate that we use. Video generator currently uses 24. But there is an option that can be changed.
I think we should use 30. I think we should use 30. I think we should plan for the future. I think otherwise what's going to happen is it's going to change and videos are going to all speed up by some weird factor and it's all a bit crazy. I think the difference between 24 and 30 is not large in terms of memory size and things like that, but I think we might as well go with the future as the default. And, us humans are not getting an upgrade anytime soon. So there's a limit to what the frame rate that anybody's going to care about is.
Actually, people care about higher frame rates to do slow-mo stuff.
Fair enough, but that's on input rather than on, yeah, okay, fair enough. Okay, what's next in the agenda here?
We
wanted to talk about audio apply.
And video position, video intervals. We didn't finalize the names for those last time.
Okay, so image position. So if I say in here, if I say, for example, image position, animal. Blah. What is that thing anyway?
It's a llama.
No, doesn't it have another name? It's a thing that is in Texas. What's the name? What was the?
Do any of us sound Texan here?
No. But someone told me, someone had an email correspondence, someone pointed out what the kind of a creature it is. And they're common in Texas. It's like.
Great. That's the prototype build.
Yeah.
An alpaca? No, I don't think it's an alpaca.
No, it was something else.
What is this? Oh, that's the 12.2 prototype. A guanaco, an oryx. My gosh. Come on, we can just trust the machine. Let's see what it says. Why is this running so slowly? What is it doing?
Probably needs to load the whole ImageNet.
I know, but why isn't it indicating that it's loading something? Could somebody report that, please?
Yep.
Okay, thanks. Okay, anyway, we don't know what this object is, but never mind that. The concept is that image position, what is going on here? Something is very wrong. Let's hope that we didn't break somehow the image identification network.
I know Neural Net had some problems in prototype builds, and some people are out. It's August.
I know, but this is 12.1 here. What's going on?
That I don't know what happened.
Unless it's writing data into the same place. This is bad. This is really bad. Something is very wrong here.
I'll report that.
I'm sending something as well. Okay, in any case, what would this do if it wasn't broken? What would it do? Image position of something in here. What would it return?
Give a position, XY position in the image that the object is identified or found.
Okay.
So there we have two birds.
And if it was just one bird, it would still be a double list, right?
Yes.
That is a very high precision bird position. Absurdly high precision bird position, if I might say so.
Right. I completely agree. We have less of an issue in fine faces that we give 0.5 positions. I think we should
I would
round.
do that. Yeah, round the thing. It's crazy. I mean, it's like the 1/10,000th of a pixel, the bird. Good luck. If it isn't more than 1 pixel, it isn't a bird.
Yeah.
Okay, but in any case, so what you're proposing is that video position would give the time. How would it specify the times?
Seconds.
Quantity seconds or whatever. Yeah, it could be.
I don't understand that. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, video position. Why wouldn't it do the audio? I mean, it's got 3D to specify in, right? So it's got the time dimension and it's got the location in the video. So in principle, video position could be giving a. You see what I'm saying? What kinds of arguments could video position have?
I think what you're asking for is video map time series of image position, video. So you want to find birds in different frames of the video. Yeah. Video position, you can say, give me times for the frames that their mean brightness is greater than something.
I understand. So I'm not sure that video position is the right name for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because video, image position means the spatial position of something. Position is not, what am I looking for here? I'm looking for video position here. Position What other functions do we have in time series? What is our way of, do we have an analogous function for time series?
No, okay, actually, that's a part of the next pack when we go back to time series, to have more event-oriented functions that find, zero crossings or things like that. That's quite important in many cases.
All right, so what we need is a time, is a way, what is it going to return, the video position thing? Does it return frame numbers, or what does it return?
Times?
In scalar seconds or with units, or what?
I think quantities make sense. And it could be either seconds quantity or mixed quantity with minutes and seconds.
What's that lovely thing with a scale? I've never seen one of those before. Can we generate those? I mean, whatever these graphics are, if these were not generated purely by hand things, if these were generated programmatically, you should have a function repository entry that does it.
Okay. Tim is helping us. Shadow
I mean,
Grove
we're
is-
inventing this as we
Yes.
speak, Stephen. We're
No, I
inventing
understand that.
the idiom. And so you can see a few prototypes that will pretty much go down to 1 or 2 models.
Right.
I see,
But
of how
I think
to show what's going on. But these are very beautiful. And I mean, these would be very nice things. Imagine people putting those in papers and things. That would be really nice for people. So let's at least have a function repository entry, and later on we can have some kind of, video visualized type thing that does stuff like this.
and I think Tim already almost has it. We have done it for so many video functions that last time he said all of this is being streamlined. I'll tell him to put it in the repository.
Okay. So now, but anyway, let's go back here. So the question is, okay. Yeah, so you can either request frames, presumably. Evaluate script. No, I don't understand. You got to be able to say, I want frames, I want times back from this.
I think for many other things, we give some kind of coordinates out. Okay, in this case, time coordinates. That's then the bridge that gives you basically like a selection to many other functions, like a whole set of other functions.
Well, does it? I mean, doesn't this give a list? And does that list, as its pair of things, is that treated as an interval in the correct way in other functions? Shadi?
Sorry, I was reading the live stream chat.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, if this returns a pair, start end position,
right?
Is that what you feed to other functions? To do you understand what I'm saying? Is that what you feed to other functions to get them to represent that interval of the video, that slice of the video, so to speak, or do other functions treat it listably?
It really depends on the function. Like video trim, if you give it two things, it's gonna get you the whole interval. If it's video extract frames, it's gonna be the 2 frames at those.
But that's not what this function returns either. It returns a list of times where the criteria is true. So it can be many more than 2.
So okay, so it returns the whole dense selection of those things.
Yes.
I think it should have a way of returning an interval, because otherwise you're going to end up with some giant data structure. When was the sun out? When was it a daytime shot? Oh.
No, that's the other function on the list, video intervals.
I see.
And I really think both are going to be useful.
Okay. What would be the analog for intervals in time series, right? What's the analog for time series of both of these things?
We don't have that. As I said, we don't really have analysis functions that look at the value and decide that this is a 0 crossing or this is a peak crossing or things like that. But we do need it. And so we have prototypes of those, obviously, but it's going to come. As I said, we don't have those functions right now. We have prototypes. We have not done the design, and it's not going to make it for 12.2.
Okay.
Okay. So there's more work to be done on those to isolate what are the key ones needed. What's the minimal building blocks, or what's the key building blocks to have?
Right. Well, okay. So wait a minute. Video intervals. Okay, what bothers me here, I could imagine an intervals function like position. You could imagine I've just got a list of values and I want all intervals for which x is, the value is greater than 0, for example, aggregated. So that's a meaningful function just for a list. It's bothering me. Video position is really bothering me. It's really confusing me about whether it's a per frame. Anyway,
and Carlo was once arguing
this is
that
crazy as well. If I might say so, this is crazy. But position takes a pattern, not a criterion.
Yep.
Right. So this is wrong in two different ways.
I often wished we had a thing that did what position does with a criterion.
Maybe we should. Put that in an ILD meeting. Okay, that's a good topic. But
so in a way, this is a select function.
Yes.
Except it isn't, because it doesn't
No,
return
it isn't
the
select.
data.
It
returns the indices, not the data.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. So there's a question from Nicola here asking whether video resample performs interpolation. It does, doesn't it? No.
It will have methods. The 12.2 version is going to be probably very simple nearest resampling. But yes, there are very many algorithms out there proposed for interpolating frames.
Okay. For an image position identifying an object, what part of the object is the key? From Brian. That's a good question. Like those birds.
Center of the bounding box.
Okay. So I see is saying that time should be the default, not frames. I think that depends on where the video came from.
I think generally speaking, we have, for audio, it became very clear that it's time that you want, not sample.
Yes, that is fairly clear for audio. Maybe it's true for video as well.
I think it's true for video too. When you say time codes, you don't say, have you ever heard anybody say, look at this video at frame 2200 and 2238?
No, my problem is that I'm too old, because yes, I do remember those kinds of things coming up, right?
Really?
Oh, absolutely. But not, I mean, that was in, when it was very challenging to process video.
Right. But today we have so much video, right? The YouTubes,
yeah, right.
and that's.
And especially at very many different frame rates. Referring to time is kind of going to be the unifying axis to work on.
Okay, question from Brian. Is there a function to convert between lists of frames and times? Lists to intervals. That's an interesting question. In other words, given a video object, how would I simply get the conversion for that video object from frames to times? Although you're pretty much claiming that times is it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we do support frames, but it has this quantity frame. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sandra is asking, is there a video frame select?
Is that going to be something like the extract function with a criteria? We have video extract. I don't remember anymore.
Video.
Video extract
Frame extract. No, frame, isn't it? Video
extract frames.
Oh gosh, so it is. Okay, right, because it returns frames.
But it doesn't have a criteria. The second argument there could very well be a criteria.
As opposed to a time.
Yes.
Reasonable enough. Yeah, why not? Unless, I mean, I don't quite understand. So in other words, you'd say video extract frames and then a thing that says there's a dog in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get all the frames of the dog in the picture. Now, what happens if you want to get a sub video of all the frames with a, a video which is only, I want to see the video only when it had that rhinoceros in it. How would I do that?
Video map should be able to do it.
How?
We'll have to engineer it somehow. If the function returns nothing, for instance, do we want to avoid injecting new frames into the output video?
Yes, I think that'll be a nice feature.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Okay, Brian is suggesting allow for function to determine whether a frame is in a returned set of frames. I don't know how useful that is. I think you can just use our standard list manipulation functions to find out whether a literal frame is in that list. You just literally are saying, member queue with frames. All right, we're still coming back to this video position thing. That is to find times that match a criterion or intervals that match a criterion.
I mean, they're basically like events or...
When will there be a time that matches a criterion? I mean, there's a dog. Okay, there isn't going to be a dog for one frame, or if there is, it's some kind of subliminal advertising dog or something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not a one-frame story.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, what do we do?
There could be like corrupted frames that happen only, one frame at a time.
No, but what do we do now? Let's say that you get 100 frames of dogs. Would we return 100 times?
Yeah, 100 times. Seems kind of useless.
That can be very long.
That could be very long. That's, again,
I don't think that's useful. I think it's more useful to do this intervals thing.
Sure. I think position could be the first of the intervals, mean of the intervals. We could extract, or basically sample the intervals if necessary.
Okay, so then video intervals. Video intervals seems more reasonable, and what it does then is it says then you're specifying what you want, what part of the interval you want to return, or you want to return the interval, so to speak.
Yeah, I think video, if we call it something intervals, it should be intervals, and then it's user's responsibility to get the first or mean.
How? By mapping first or mean over it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, so now video intervals. So.
And recall we have audio intervals, which does exactly that. Gives you time intervals where something is happening.
Well, and that's a good pattern, isn't it? We don't have audio position, do we?
No. But that's even a much less useful thing because you're not sample by sample.
Where are you going to go? You go,
yeah.
Look, I think video intervals is the right thing.
Okay.
And criterion, fine. That's not silly. Minimum duration there. Well, actually, I don't know whether that makes sense. That probably doesn't make sense for video. And I would even argue that that might be more happily an option in the audio intervals case.
Okay.
I see. This is a good idea. I mean, that's a like, for example, you might want to pick up things that are photographic rather than being, credits or something.
Yep.
Okay, so video intervals it would be, and then that would return. Intervals here is actually given as pairs, like this. I see.
And these are scalars assumed to be seconds in seconds when passed to something else. But I think both audio intervals and video intervals could return quantities or quantity
I think you
arrays.
need to make a decision, right?
Yeah.
Whatever these other functions eat, I mean, probably a quantity array makes the most sense.
Yep.
Does it work to say first /@ quantity array? You better check those things work.
Okay.
That's not obvious to me.
And if not, should it still be a list of quantities, you think?
I would just do it in seconds. If this thing is mostly for machine consumption, I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. And I just don't think. Audio position, should the interval, time interval. Yeah, we already have audio intervals. Right, so audio intervals of the bird will give the audio intervals at which a bird is heard. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with these people who are saying that the time intervals are the right thing. And then so long as it works, how can I take that pair and how do I get the sub video that is that thing?
Video trim.
I see. So I literally just feed that in. So if I say video trim of video, hash, map it over this, I'll get all the sub videos.
Yes.
That's not bad. Okay. All right. What's next?
Audio apply.
What the heck is that?
Say that let's say that you've done an animation, but you want to add audio to it.
Yep.
Or you want to change the audio. That's what it does.
That's a horrible name for that.
I tend to agree.
I started from something like
because
video audio map.
Well, yeah, I know. I think it's got to mention video because otherwise it's just like why? I mean, that it makes it seem like it's going to be an audio function.
Yeah.
And
in fact, because of this name, we thought, okay, audio apply could also work on audio, but it is going to be the same as the function working on the audio directly rather than going through audio apply.
Right. But so let's understand what this is. This is, naively, it would be video add audio.
No, that's like video combine, where you can combine video and audio tracks, or a video that has an audio track with yet another audio track. This is really
fine. It's really set. Is it set the audio track of a video?
It's process of an audio track of a video.
Why is it processing? What is it processing?
It's a video object that already has an audio track.
Oh, sorry, I got confused, Stephen. It's my fault. I confused you. I didn't mean to. I misremembered.
Wait a minute. Apply an audio function to a specified audio track. So apply an audio function. Wait.
Look at the page.
Let's take the naive thing. Okay, so Roger's thing. Okay, so Roger's case where I've got a dancing llama and I want to add music to it.
That's going to be video combine. video, audio.
I see. Okay. What if I want to make something where the music, is undulating to the llama, so to speak, where the music is in the rhythm is determined by the llama?
I would go with something like video map list and then get an audio out first and then video combine.
All right. So what is this function? This absolutely incomprehensible function?
There is a good illustration there, I guess, for this one. So the audio track exists. You want to normalize it, amplify it, time stretch it, or something of that sort.
I see. So why is this not? How would you just do that if it was just an audio function? If it was just a piece of audio, what would you do?
You would just apply the function, say audio time stretch to the audio.
Why don't you just do that to the video? Why don't you have all the audio functions just work on videos? I don't see why that wouldn't work. Like that.
I guess, again, it's this track selection business. We have to add audio track selection to all of the audio functions, which doesn't make sense for audio objects anyway.
Well, then how do you extract? Okay, this is why I was trying to convince you a while ago, and you weren't paying attention, that having a wrapper, a symbolic wrapper that represents something like a selected part of a video or a track on a video would be useful.
But the video object is going to be the video object is going to be that wrapper. But then when you specify audio tracks 1, you're basically ignoring all of the other tracks.
I know that. But I'm saying that's why I was saying to you, if you had something which said audio track selection here, outside the video, 5, that is merely representing. Well, I admit this is a little bit hokey. That doesn't really work.
What comes out? Still the 5-track audio?
Yeah, no. The whole one. The whole thing is what you want, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. So what you're saying is the alternatives are the following. Yeah, Brian is suggesting video map audio. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I think the most natural thing is this, because the most natural thing is that there's one audio track, right?
Not necessarily. The video tracks, we have very few samples. We have seen very few real world samples that have multiple video tracks. But with multiple audio tracks, it's like different languages.
I know, but it's not the most common case.
It's typical not, I agree.
Audio, typical video that I record on my phone is one track, right?
So you think for the atypical case, we'll just do a video combine afterwards, if needed?
No, but here's the thing. You can still achieve what Stephen is pointing out there. If you do video, video selection 1, then you have it selected.
Yes.
And then you do the audio function. So even though the audio functions don't have all those video selection options, audio track selection and stuff, there is a for the atypical case.
What is the atypical case? How do you do it again?
Let's say that you have 2 audio tracks to your video.
Yep.
Okay. Now, in order for it to process, you need to have one selected.
No, I know that. So what was the code that you were saying?
Video itself, the video wrapper itself, video of that video, audio selection, audio track selection. And that returns a video with a new selection set.
And then you do the audio time stretch or whatever on that.
Yes.
And how do you get back the other audio tracks rather? How do you re-put in the other audio tracks that you didn't want changed?
Or do you not need to? Combine, but we would have to take this one out as well from the audio.
But what are the semantics here? Does this mean a video?
Well, wait a minute. Does this produce a video or does it produce an audio? think that we wanted it to produce a video. That was what audio
No,
applied.
we wanted to produce a video. The issue is, does this audio track selection arrow 1, it represents a video where you're only playing the track 1 audio, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Correct. But
Okay.
we also want almost all functions to be sort of applied to the one selection, because the minute you start multi-selection, you get weird.
Look, I think the right thing to do here is the following. I think the right thing to do is to add to the audio functions an audio track selection, okay? Which most of the time won't do anything because audio has a one-track story.
Mm-hmm.
How do you apply, when you have quadraphonic audio, how do you apply to just one? What are those things called? Those are channels, right, of audio?
Yes.
Correct? And how do you do the analogous thing with different channels? If I want to time stretch just one channel, how do I do that?
Audio channel separate and then audio channel combined. We cannot map directly just to one channel.
Well, maybe there's an analogy here. For this rather obscure case. Look, there are two alternatives. Either you break the audio apart, you do that kind of processing, you recombine it, you put it back in the video, or we support audio track selection in these various audio functions, which I think will be my preference. You know, we just documented as when applied to a video, this selects which track it will be applied to. Maybe not. Look, the other possibility is you simply extract the appropriate. Okay, if you're applying, so video map applies an operation to a video frame by frame, right?
Yes.
And then, okay. Look, audio track. What do you do this thing? Audio. You know, audio track apply would be better than audio apply.
Mm-hmm.
Sandra is asking, why not an option to a certain channel and by default do it on all channels? Wait a minute, we're not talking channels, we're talking tracks here. I think I'd be okay with audio track apply.
I like that better too.
I think it's hard to misunderstand that. Is it apply though?
It is, because you're giving it functions like audio time stretch. You apply that function to the.
All right, okay. Well, except
track.
yeah, okay. All right, fine. All right, audio track apply it is. Okay, what's next? Anything else?
I guess that's it from the video list.
Okay. What else is there here?
I think one thing you bypass the random image, linear gradient image, and so forth in the image section. We are adding a type argument. Maybe you looked at them. It's the image subsection. Just want to make sure you've seen that.
What is that? No, I didn't know that.
To specify, so far by default, we're creating real images all the time. Now we're specifying that type argument that says it can be a byte, bit 16 or whatever.
I mean, what is the first argument anyway here?
The max intensity value, 1.
Okay, and then what? Then I can hear say integer 16 or something.
Yeah, bit 16.
Don't forget to autocomplete.
Sure.
Whatever.
That's 12.1.1. Prototype builds already and secured builds have it.
Okay. Seems fine to me.
Okay.
Okay. What else?
Then I guess if what else from import export? PDF new.
Didn't we look at that last time?
We have some alternative suggestions for a couple of elements that that's under the O tab. For the paged results. If you scroll down, do you see a tentative table? I'm wondering when you updated the. No, I think this is, you don't have the updates.
I can get the updates, hold on. But tell me what the story is there.
You suggested pages, plain text, page images, and so forth. I would like to suggest page plain text, page images, page graphics, page formatted text. So they all start with page and then continue with the element name that otherwise gets us the whole document data.
So wait a minute. So you're saying, say that again. So you're saying everything just becomes, if it is a per page deal, what is, I didn't understand that. I mean, so like plain text or something, it would be page plain text, and then that would give a list of the plain text by page. Is that correct?
Yes.
That seems right to me. And then what are some other options for that?
The formatted text is another one. We have formatted text, which is by default for the whole document, a row of styled text. And if it's page formatted text, that becomes a list of formatted text.
I see.
Those two blue tentative.
How can you get images other than page images?
Yeah, that's why they don't show up in the first table. The first table are the results for the whole PDF. The second table are per page elements.
So I'm sorry, which table? So it says formatted text.
The blue, the two tentative tables are the replacement for the one above.
And formatted text.
Yes.
I like this. This is good. Yep.
Okay.
I'm good with this. Okay. Anything else?
Brief discussion about FLV. You suggested we don't obsolete it and add import. There is a small technical issue. We're just going to not obsolete it 12.2 and then add import probably next version. But I just wanted to point that out.
Okay. What happened to our XLS and CSV import and export stuff? Has that had a speed update?
Not yet in 12.2. XLS is fast. No problem with that.
Yeah, XLS is fast. CSV can be faster.
Yes.
Okay. And so it will hit it for 12.2 plus, whatever that next version is.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Looking really nice. All right. Does this mean that you are done with your design reviews for 12.2 or not?
I guess unless anything doesn't work out. Yeah, Roger.
I expected us to have one catch-up review. We wanted to do this one early because there were things we thought that you might have big opinions about. And
okay, fine. I think we've resolved this one. Yep.
Yeah. And so there might be a small catch-up review, but nothing big.
Okay.
But that's just fine.
Sounds good. Hey, what's coming next, Roger? What reviews are?
Well, we have PD modeling tomorrow. And then I think we're hitting almost all the others are not getting quite ready enough until pretty much first week of September or so, second
when do we see geospatial statistics and things?
That's in that time frame as well.
Okay. Hey, Brian on our live stream is asking, what does text mean as far as ASCII, UTF-8, etc.? It doesn't matter because it's coming into Wolfram language. So it's just our strings. Right. So you don't care about what that underlying encoding is. It's going straight from whatever the PDF encoding is to our meaningful internal encoding, which you can think of as Unicode, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks to everybody. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to everybody on the live stream. Lots of very useful comments. Tune in tomorrow we have 3 live streams tomorrow, but about different topics. We have PDE modeling, we have design for interactive graphics, and then we have a brainstorming meeting about experimental tests of our physics models. Very different kind of thing. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later.